Halloween is right around the corner and I want to get my little guy all excited for the holiday. So I have a couple of activities that I'm going to share with you, great for babies and toddlers, as well as 2 different recipes. I'm going to be making a lunchbox and sharing what I do for Owen and what I'm going to pack for him for a little Halloween themed lunch, as well as one other recipe. But I thought we'd get started with the activities. And like I said, this is great for younger kids. So if you have a younger kid, sensory bottles are really fun. I'm gonna do one that's very, very simple that I think honestly babies would enjoy. And I also think some toddlers would enjoy. I am just gonna add some water and food coloring as well as Elmer's glue here. And you can use that combination to get a lot of different sensory bottles going and customize them to different holidays, different colors, whatever your child's preferences are. But the glue is the key because it helps with the consistency and helps to make it really interesting as they move it back and forth. And I thought the googly eyes would be really fun. The neon colored food coloring will be really great for both of these that I'm gonna make. So let's start with the sensory water bottle and fill it up. I'm gonna show you how I do it. Now I'm gonna add in the purple neon food coloring. And I have some hot water here that I'm also gonna add in that will help with the glue. Help it mix up. And if you have a bunch of different sizes of googly eyes, that would be really great as well. Let's see if we can mix it up here. There we go. It's very purple, so it's kind of fun that you can move it around and see those googly eyes emerge. The one thing I would suggest if you have a little one, honestly toddler or baby age, is adding a little bit of super glue on the rim before you screw the top on, just so that they can't unscrew it. Most, of course, babies and young toddlers don't really have the dexterity to fully unscrew a water bottle, but just in case, because there's food coloring and glue and stuff in there, you don't want it going everywhere. Craft number 2 is really simple. We're gonna be making a sensory bag. And one trick that I have for sensory bags, if you really wanna make them see-through and so the kid can focus on exactly what's in the sensory bag, is to take a little bit of nail polish remover or alcohol and to remove the writing that is on your Ziploc bag or other food bag. Wipe it away, and you can see how easily it goes away there with just a little bit of nail polish remover. And then I am going to add in some water here. I'm also going to use my neon food coloring, and this time we're going to go with some green. Add that in, just a couple of drops there. And then just like we used the glue in the sensory bottle, I'm going to add in some hair gel here to give it a little bit of extra interest. I dropped some on the outside of the bag. That's okay, we'll clean that up. The more you add, the more interesting I think it is to move items through the hair gel and through the liquid. And then I am going to mix that up a little bit. Let me rinse it off quickly. I just cleaned off the bag here, and I am going to add in a bunch of different fun Halloween themed and colored pom-poms here and just toss those in. I have lots of different sizes. Some have glitter on them, some don't. And then I am going to try and get a lot of the air out of here. So it's mostly just that colorful liquid and space to squish things around. If you have a young baby and you're worried about them like putting this into their mouth or something, I would recommend using some painter's tape and painting it down on the floor or taping it down on the floor rather. If you have an older child that isn't going to put it in their mouth, then you can let them squeeze it and play with it. You could reinforce by adding an extra piece of tape at the top here. But in general, if you tape it up really well, you should be good. You just want to make sure your child doesn't open it up. So taping it is probably not a bad idea, but this is so fun to squish around and move all of the different shapes. I'm just getting started with a Halloween themed toddler lunchbox. Our son goes to daycare and I pack his lunch every day. So I have a few different things I'm gonna put in there. And the first thing I'm making is a spooky quesadilla. We're gonna try and do it 2 different ways. So I'll show you how I do that. You're gonna need your tortillas, of course, some cheese, slices, shredded cheese, whatever you prefer, and then cookie cutters and a nice sharp paring knife. And the first one we're gonna keep really simple and get it going. I'm just adding cheese to make a basic quesadilla for this one. I'm going to toss it on the pan quickly. And then the next one we're going to make a pumpkin, and I'm gonna use this shape here, and I'm gonna cut out some little eyes and a nose. And then we'll see if I can get some sort of a smile. And then I'll just pop that out. And then same with this one, I am going to add my cheese to make a basic quesadilla. And after I finish up the first one, then I'll add this one to the pan. You can do it either way. You could cut the tortilla first with your cookie cutter, or you could make the whole quesadilla like I'm doing and then use the cookie cutter after. It is a little bit difficult to work through the cheese, but you can always use your paring knife to just go along that cookie cutter and get it out. Nice thing about making the whole quesadilla first is that you get the little bit of extra pieces. So if you yourself as a mom want a little snack while you're making something for your child, you can eat the leftovers and it's an actual quesadilla. So I'm gonna grab the pumpkin and we're gonna cut that out and keep moving along. I finished cutting out my pumpkin and it turned out really cute. The only thing I'll say is that the quesadilla is a similar color to the cheese, so I would pick a darker cheese if you want it to really stand out. Or I've also seen that you can do it in the oven, so your quesadilla doesn't get quite as brown as it would if you do it on the stove top. But either way works just fine. I cleaned up the cuts a little bit with my knife and it looks really cute. So now that I have those on the side, I am going to grab a banana and we're gonna make a little banana ghost. I'm just gonna measure how it's going to fit best here in the lunchbox and cut it in half. And we're gonna make this into a cute little ghost. This will be the ghost head up here, and then I'm gonna cut it at an angle and make it look like the bottom of the ghost. And then we're gonna get some chocolate and I'm gonna draw a little face on it. If you have mini chocolate chips, that would be perfect here. You just need 3 of them. So I'm gonna grab a couple and we're gonna make a face. So do you just stick the top of the chip into the banana there to make the eyes. And then one more will be the mouth. Actually, let's get one big chocolate chip and see how that looks instead. Okay, I actually really like that. Look how cute that looks with the big chocolate chip. So I'm gonna add that in there. And I think I'm gonna toss in the bats I'm gonna show you the next recipe. Next up, we're gonna make a little fruit parfait. I have a pineapple, a little cutie, and then some Greek yogurt. So I'm gonna get this all chopped up and show you exactly what I'm gonna do with it. Finished my little yogurt parfait here. So I did pineapple, then the cutie, and then just plain Greek yogurt there. I don't know if you saw, I moved the ghost over, made him a little bit smaller so I'd have more room for that parfait. And then we're gonna get a sweet potato sliced up into rounds, and I am going to roast those in the oven very quickly, which I have preheated here, and that's gonna be the last thing that we have. Once the sweet potatoes are a little bit softer, then you can go ahead and put them on a cutting board, and we're gonna make them into pumpkins again. So I'm gonna cut little pumpkin faces into them and make them all nice and cute and add those to the lunchbox, and then we'll be done and have a fun Halloween themed toddler lunchbox. The second recipe we're gonna make is a very, very simple smoothie. It's gonna be a great flavor that toddlers, young kids will love. So I'm adding in the scraps from the banana that I didn't use for the ghost. I'm also adding in scraps of pineapple that I had and some of the Greek yogurt. So I'm really reusing a lot of ingredients here. I'm going to add a handful of spinach, stick that down, get those last scrapings of Greek yogurt because I didn't have much left, but feel free to add more. And there are really no measurements to this smoothie. It's just gonna make a nice green color, and you can add in a fruit juice if you want to. We haven't really introduced juice. I prefer to add milk when I make smoothies. Sometimes for myself, I just do water. But because I'm trying to load in those nutrients and get some vitamin D and calcium in there for my little one, I'm gonna add in a bunch of milk and blend it up. So that was really quick and easy. It's gonna be a runnier smoothie because I used fresh ingredients rather than frozen. It has a nice green color, and I'm going to pour it into a glass, show you a version to do for a little bit of an older child, and then for younger toddlers, babies that are starting to have solids. I really love these cups, so I will link these in the description box below. But I'm gonna show you exactly how to make it into a monster smoothie on top of the fact that it's already green, and you can just tell your kid it's a smoothie for monsters or looks like monsters or whatever you want to make it seem more Halloween themed.